Do you know why you don't want to look at your metrics? Stay tuned and I'll tell you why. Hi, friends. I'm Michelle Mitchell, your fractional CFO, clockwork coach, and your go to for keeping your profits high and your stress low. You don't want to look at your metrics because we make it too complicated. Like it's a lot to do. And as a CEO, as myself, I don't want to have to gather all the documents, like so that I could do this assessment. But today we're going to walk through a 20-minute assessment that you can do to check in on your numbers and where you are and your progress. So stay tuned. Over the last 3 videos, we have audited your numbers, plugged any profit leaks, and freed up your CEO time. Today, we'll put it all together with my mid-year review, the exact process that doubled our firm's margins last year. So, why 20 minutes? Because you, as the CEO, don't have a lot of time, and I don't want you to procrastinate. And 20 minutes is like that sweet spot for you to get things done and then move on to your next task. So, how does it work? A lot of times, reviews drag on and your time is unfocused. But here, I'm going to give you a very tight window to do things in 5-minute increments so that you can get through all the tasks and start benefiting from you, the CEO, reviewing your metrics on a monthly basis. So these 5 blocks are 5 minutes at a time, and we're going to cover some very key points about your numbers and your metrics so that you have like a dashboard to look at and you can just update the numbers as needed. So all you'll need for this is your year-to-date profit and loss statement, your simplified time tracking sheet that I gave you in episode 3, and this new Google dashboard sheet that is very simple, where you're gonna plug in your numbers and you're gonna like rate yourself, and that's it. So the first step is to review your financials in a flash, like your very key KPIs. And those KPIs that I want you to pull are your gross profit margin number, your operating profit margin, and your cash flow, which I talked about in episode 1. And what I want you to do with these 3 numbers is mark them red, yellow, or green. Red is they need work. Yellow is they're doing okay. And green is you're on target. So just to recall, your gross profit margin number for agencies, consulting agencies, firms, law firms, service providers, your profit margin number needs to be about 50%. If it's not at 50% and you're like at 43% or 35%, you have room to make improvements. So our benchmark is 50%. We can get it up to like 60% for service providers. So there's room in your margin. And just so you remember what gross margin is your total revenue minus what it costs for you to deliver that service to your client. And that's your gross profit margin. Your operating margin is below your gross profit margin, and this is what it costs you to operate your business. And you're going to do that based on a percentage. So your total expenses divided by your revenue gives you your your operating profit percentage. And if that percentage is somewhere in the range of 20%, you're doing pretty good. If it's higher or lower, uh, you need to make some adjustments. And your cash flow. Do you have enough cash coming in the next 30, 60 days to cover all of your expenses? Then we move on to writing one sentence, like why your percentages are not where you want them to be. Just one sentence. You don't have to write a book, right? Just keep it really clear and concise. Now, block number two is evaluating your capacity. In our time simplified time tracking sheet, we talked about you as the CEO spending your time in doing, deciding, delegating, and designing. And as the CEO, we want to move closer to spending more time in designing what the future of the business looks like and less time in the doing of the work, especially if you have a team. So ask yourself, what is one task I can move from doing to designing before September 1st? So maybe you're doing some client work and you have a team member. Let's just take one task and move it over to the team um, member so that you have more space and capacity to think about the future of the business or creating that strategic thing that you need to do for the business. So that's number two is evaluating your capacity. Take 5 minutes and do that. Number three, have you ever taken a look at your client roster or your offers that you sell to clients? We call this in Clockwork crush or cringe. Like when you see a client's name come up, do you like, oh, I'm so happy to talk to them? Or do you cringe? Do you like, what do they want now? Right? So I want you to go through your client list and evaluate whether or not they're A clients, B clients, or C clients. And if you have a group of C clients, we need to come up with a strategy to move them off of your roster and bring on more A clients. So this is what you could be using your design time for, is coming up with a strategy to help you move C clients off of your roster and bring on more A clients. So in that crush or cringe, I want you to just identify the C clients and how many do you want to move off your plate in the next 30 to 60 days, and then come up with a plan to bring on more A type clients. And this one, actually, you can raise your revenue without even doing much more work because you'll have the space to bring on more A clients or take the A clients you already have and offer them more services, right? They already know, like, and trust you. So just offer them some more things to help them solve their problem that's in your wheelhouse. And then block number four, this is your last 5 minutes. I want you to take a look at your profit roadmap. So, how are you going to make moves within the business to increase your profit? Because when you have profit, that is what you, the business owner, can bring into your personal life. You can bring the profit over from the business into your personal life, and you can solve your personal financial issues with that profit. So we have to be making moves so that we can move profit over into our personal life so that we can create financial freedom for ourselves because we did not go into business not to make a profit, right? All right. So we've gone over the four things on your dashboard. Now, what I want you to do is assign dates. When are you going to make these things happen? So let's make it short, right? In the next 30 to 60 days, we're going to increase profit margins by September 1st by 1 or 2%, right? You don't have to make an overhaul in 30 days. You just need to make incremental improvement. And then I want you to come back to this review every month because you can assess where you are and plan for where you want to be. And by you staying focused on this 20 minutes every month to recap what's been going on in your business, This is how we make more profit. This is how we move the needle in our business is to do this on an incremental basis. So, when you're done with this process, I want you to drop a comment below and let me know what moves you're making in your business. And I'll be cheering you along the way. And if any of this is unclear to you, like please schedule a financial clarity call and we can help you create your dashboard, tell you where you can pull these metrics from more easily so that you really can only spend 20 minutes reviewing your dashboard and making a plan with dates of where you're going to go next. This has been your mid-year CEO reset. If any of these 4 episodes have boosted your clarity about your business, please give me a like. Please share it with a fellow founder and stay tuned for more fresh profit tactics that I will be talking to you about every week right here on this channel. And once again, I am Michelle Mitchell and I am rooting you on every step of the way. Talk to you soon. Bye.